Let's fix college football scheduling, shall we? Here on Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We've looked at the ACC and the SEC. Please check out those videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel for the very best in college football analysis for you, the smart fan. Let's look at the Big Ten for 2018. This is the non-division scheduling for the Big Ten. Let's show you how unequal and imbalanced and unfair it is and what we can do about it. So consider that the East beat the West last year 34-29. So when you've got a 14-team league, so you play 3 games against the other division, you're going to come out with 63 games, and the East won 34 of the 63. We're not including the Big Ten championship game. So Big Ten scheduling has a little bit more flexibility because you play 9 conference games, 3 against the other division, as opposed to the SEC and the ACC, and those awkward rivalries that they have set up that really tie you down. So we've got some more scheduling flexibility here with the Big Ten to make it equal. The way it stands right now, Michigan has a very difficult non-division schedule in facing Nebraska, Northwestern, and Wisconsin. Those 3 teams last year went 19-8 in the Big Ten. Consider that Maryland, yes, we don't consider Maryland a contender in the Big Ten, but it's not my goal to do NFL scheduling and try to create parity. I'm trying to create equal, balanced, and fair competition. So Maryland's competing in the same division, and the 3 teams that they play in the other division are 6-21. Let's say Maryland was Ohio State, which the Buckeyes will at some point, and Michigan and everyone else have a schedule that looks like that. Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois only went 6-21 last year in the Big Ten. Michigan's got to play 3 teams that went 19-8. Consider that Ohio State, even if you want to discard Maryland and say, you know, they're not a factor, who cares? The Buckeyes play Minnesota, Purdue, and Nebraska. Minnesota 2-7, Purdue 4-5, Nebraska 3-6 in the conference last year. That comes out to a 9-18 slate in the Big Ten versus Michigan 19-8. It's not fair. In the Western Division, Nebraska gets slammed. Scott Frost, God bless you, gets slammed in his first season in Lincoln. They've got to play arguably the 3 best teams in the division, Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State. Those 3 teams went 20-7 in the Big Ten last year, and those 3 may actually be better than that, considering that Michigan went 5-4 and they lost to the 4 best teams in the conference. Otherwise, Michigan better than a 5-4 team last year in the Big Ten, and projected to be better this year. So that schedule might be even tougher than it looks right there. Contrast that to Iowa's 3 opponents. Penn State, strong team. Indiana, Maryland weigh it down to an 11-16 record. So Nebraska and Iowa could possibly be competing for a division championship. Regardless, they should be playing equal schedules, and it's nowhere close to that. Purdue, 17-10, also plays a difficult schedule. Illinois and Minnesota get somewhat of a light touch. And if you work out this situation, 34-29, the teams that the Big Ten Western Division teams have to play from the East are going to have better records than the teams that the Big Ten East have to play out of the West because they beat them more times. So we've done our best to fix it. Could we completely fix it? Well, if we could, if we had complete flexibility, and maybe a better man than me, and you could put pen to paper and try to figure this out or work out some kind of wizardry in Excel and possibly come up with a better formula. I just mixed and matched and tried to come up with a more balanced schedule because there are no designated rivalries here other than Purdue and Indiana have to play. So keep in mind the Oak and Bucket game needs to be played between the Boilers and the Hoosiers. Other than that, it's fair game across the board. So the best we could come up with, since they play an uneven number of conference games, would be for everybody to play 3 teams from the previous season that either went 14-13 composite or 13-14. The best that I could do would be for everyone to play within a range of generally 13-14 and 14-13, although on the bottom end, Indiana's got an 11-16 composite schedule with Iowa, Purdue, and Nebraska. And the toughest schedule here looks like it's going to Minnesota, who has to play Michigan State, Penn State, and Maryland, a combined 16 and 13. But still, we didn't go all the way from 20 wins to 6. We kept it within 16 and 11. Much more balanced, fair scheduling from me, and maybe if you can figure out a better formula, a little bit better for you. This is Mark Rogers, Mark Rogers TV, asking that you subscribe if you love college football. We talk it up like nobody else. 107 media contributors in 2017. We're bringing more on board as we speak. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Stay tuned for the rest of my scheduling series.